Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our June Mirabella webinar with Lynn, Candy, and myself, Sarin. We're going to be going over some application techniques as well as best practices for our June promo, which is 25% off of the eye essentials. So that's going to include quite a few things this month. We have the eye crayons, both in blackmail and champagne. We also have the magic marker felt tip liquid eyeliner. There's all of the retractable eye definer pencils, all 6 shades, and the Lasting Lash waterproof mascara. So I do want to mention that every month we have these beautiful one-pager sheets that the girls put together with wonderful marketing materials and information about the month's promotions for you and your staff. So these are meant to be internal. We also have some great info at the bottom here that's worth taking a look at in depth of how to increase your return on investment with these particular items. So it really gives you a fine point focus on what you want to be talking with your staff about for the month. And we also have a new Mirabella Moment postcard. These can be printed smaller to be put at your stations for actual little postcard sizes. So they're very convenient little reminders for your clients and your staff to talk about these particular items, what they're on sale for, how they can be utilized, and so forth. And lastly, each item for these promos is going to come with a snap sheet. This is going to give you details on what it is, what it does, what colors are available, as well as some customer reviews at the bottom. So make sure you check those out, along with the webinar video on our public Dropbox that will be posted on our Facebook as well as sent out directly via email.
Awesome. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Hope you all are having a great beginning of the summer season. So I'm going to first talk about our retractable eyeliners. We have our eye definers in 6 different shades, as Sarin mentioned. So I did a little research this morning because I was kind of wondering what eyeliner trends were happening this spring and summer. And based on Vogue, a very popular color that's being seen a lot of places everywhere in this season is an eggplanty brown. So this is our prune eye definer. I'm going to actually use Candy's arm here. If we can get a little closer, I'm going to swatch it so that you can see the color. So it's more of an eggplant color. And I'm actually going to apply this onto Candy as our eyeliner look. So with our eyeliners, it's really great because they are super creamy. I'm not sure if you're aware, but they do come with a little sharpener on the bottom so you can get a really nice defined point after you're using them. Best practice for sanitizing these guys is to spray them with the tip facing down, let them dry off. You don't want to flip it over. There is a little bit of a gap in between the component and the actual color. If alcohol gets in there, it'll dry out your tester. Also, you want to make sure to keep these caps on really, really tightly. So I'm just going to take this little prune. Again, these are our testers, so I'm going to use it directly on the skin. These have been sanitized. And I'm just going to do a really soft little dashing formation here or movement. And I'm lifting just a bit to create a little bit of lift, but I'm keeping the liner real close to the lash line. And that's just going to add some depth and dimension and volume to her lashes. It does allow you, our eyeliners do not set super, super quickly. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So I am going to take an angled brush and just kind of feather that up. And you can kind of make a little bit of a smudgy, smoky, sultry look. And I think that's really nice and soft. And a lot of the trends that I'm reading about this spring are people want to have like a nice, fresh, natural look. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side. Again, just doing that real quick dashing motion. You don't have to be super precise. Now, if you were doing more of a cat eye, then I would say absolutely. Again, taking my angled brush, and I'm just going to work that up a little bit. So really nice and pretty, just really nice and soft. For the lower lash line, I'm actually going to use our twig. And so the great part about twig is a deeper brown shade. Can I see your arm here? Oh, we're going this way. Might be easier. The nice thing about Twig is that you can create a more fresh, a more natural look without so much definition or it being harsh like a black. Some people think as you get to be a little older, black is a little too stark. So Twig, which is this deep brown, is going to be a good alternative. And I'm going to have her look up for me or look at my shoulder. Actually, look up, sorry. And I'm going to just run this along her lower lash line. And again, I'm not pressing very hard. You can't even see your skin move, which is a good thing. And I am going to take my angled brush again and just kind of smudge that out.
And these do dry down to be water resistant. So once they are smudged out, it is very difficult to go back in to resmudge. So just work one eye at a time if you are planning on smudging it out so they don't dry down too quickly.
Sorry. All right, there we go. So again, a really nice alternative to the black is going to be Twig. Smoke is black. It's, you know, the little black dress for the lashes and for the eyeliner. So Smoke's going to be a good old great choice for just more of a sultry look, but also you can smudge it down. Frost is one of ours that is really awesome too.
It's my favorite.
It's Serin's favorite.
It doesn't get enough credit.
It's beautiful in the waterline, which I actually have it in my waterline today. I'm going to go ahead and just pop it here in Candy's tear duct. And just something real simple like that.
And you don't have to put it directly on the waterline if that's not what you're into. That's why she's putting it right on the tear duct there, so it's away from the waterline, but still brings just a little bit of light and reflection to the eye without being a harsh white or unnatural beigey color.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's just going to give a little bit of brightness. Midnight is one of my favorites. It's a really deep, dark blue. And I actually used it as my all over shadow today on my eyes. So I just kind of smudged it out and drew a bit of a cat eye. And then also we have foil. And foil is going to be our, where are you, foil? There. Nope, that's Smoke. Oh, there it is. They look kind of similar. Foil's a deep charcoal. And again, this is a great alternative to Smoke or black. It's a little bit softer. And let me put Smoke on there so you can see the difference between them. There we are. But again, making sure to sanitize them with the tips facing down and making sure the caps are on them pretty tightly. So we also have our eye crayons. We have our Champagne, which is a highlighter. So we can go ahead and just pop this right under Candy's eyebrow. And I'm just going to kind of smudge it down a little.
And this is another multi-use product. You can also use these as a face highlighter, just kind of dot it along the cheek or the bridge of the nose and smudge it out to give a little bit of an all-over look.
So we're just kind of doing a little at our temples here. I'm going to smudge that out. And that brings that highlight. Did I swatch this on your arm? Nope. So that's going to be the Champagne. And then we do have our Blackmail, which is one of our favorites. It's just a chubbier black crayon. This is super water resistant, waterproof. It's going to stay on all day. And it's another great alternative. So let's do mascara. So we just got a new fill of our Lasting Lash mascara in. Brand new little spoolie here. We're going to just use, that's not a mascara wand, that was a lip wand. I'm going to use best practice, so using a mascara wand, a disposable. This is more of a tubing mascara. And the nice thing about it is the fact that it isn't clumpy, it doesn't get flaky, it gives volume, it curls. So it's pretty much your all-in-one. And I'm going to have her look at my shoulder. And I'm just going to tickle her lashes with the mascara wand. If she needs to blink, that's okay. I'm lifting up on her brow to kind of create a bit more lift and relax that muscle that's right here above the eye. I'm going to have her look up for me. And then I'm just going to...
And that Lasting Lash does come with a silicone spoolie. So there are different options on the market for disposable spoolies. We have the regular spoolies. There are also disposable silicone spoolies, but I just wanted to point out that the product itself does have a silicone spoolie on it.
And then last but not least, we have our Magic Marker eyeliner. This is a marker, it's in the name. It has a really nice, precise point to it. and it is going to be waterproof once it's set. It's great to use to do a perfect cat eye. One thing about sanitation though, once it touches the skin, it is going to be contaminated. So you can either make a little puddle like on a palette and use an angled brush to apply it, or you can slide the angled brush across the tip, making sure to sanitize it each time. My favorite is if you're using this on a client, just include it in the price of the service and send it home with them so that way they can keep it.
Absolutely. And that one also has a little bit more of a, I would say it's a little bit of a luminescent finish, not shimmery or anything at all. It's just not quite as matte as the eye definers and the eye crayons. So you can layer them and have a little bit of a difference of texture there. And then lastly, I do want to mention that the Lash Luxe mascara is due to be back reformulated at the end of the year. So if you guys have any questions or needs, let us know. And please make sure you check out our Dropbox with all of these wonderful marketing assets. And these can also be used for your social media accounts. You can print them out as flyers and use them as bag stuffers. Just get that information in your client's hands so they feel more empowered with what they are purchasing. And they know that all of these products are very well researched, very healthy for the skin.
And thank you, Sam and Candy, for creating the beautiful marketing for all of us.
All right.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great June.